Disgusting.
Viewers are in for a treat.
Man,
I'm
not.
So excited to be here right now. Allie is taking a shower right now. Hopefully, we do not have a Janet Jackson Super Bowl incident right now. Okay, guys, just warning you right now that I hope no nip slips happen because she has those nipple. She has those nipple covers, and those little, do your wives have those things?
And we're demonetized.
The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast.
Is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days.
Hosted by a group of best friends. If you'd like to find out more, visit nerdchatmedia.com.
This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
Have you guys heard of these things? They're called noms. Oh, hello. Daddy D. Wally here, coming to you live from Waikiki Beach in Honolulu, Hawaii. This is, of course, the Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Joining me, as always, is Chipotle Bear. Chipotle Bear, how are you?
I'm great, man. Happy Thursday to everybody. I told the guys before the show my wife had to make a very quick, unexpected trip to a friend's house in Ohio, and so I'm on daddy daycare tonight and through the rest of the weekend, which I'm actually really pumped about. But at some point through the show, I got to disappear for about 10 minutes to go put the kids down, so just a heads up. But otherwise, it's been a big week of news, man. We got a lot to talk about. Happy to be here.
Chipotle Bear said spooky season is in full effect, and joining us as always, tickets go on sale Friday for
Metallica, sir, at Invesco Field. 2 nights of freaking greatness and glory. All alarms are set to get on time to get both evenings.
That, of course, was X Bacon Gaming joining the show, and joining us as always is the ghost of Yes, Bubble Boy and Seven.
How's it going, naked boy?
That's right. I am completely in the nude here in Hawaii. I hope we don't get demonetized. No nip slips so far. All right. And making his grand return, special guest from Xbox Expansion Pass. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have no idea. Captain Logun is joining us as always, and he must have something to say because he's like, I need to get on the show stat. Huh? So joining us this week, special guest, I'm a female protagonist, Captain Logun. Welcome to the show.
Sweet.
How's it going, Dan? Oh my, I feel like we all need to take our shirts off and just raise our cameras up a little bit.
We are all on vacation right now. Let's go.
We're on vacation right now.
This is how we do the show now. Yes. This is how we get popular.
I didn't even know that it was Thursday. I've totally lost all concept of time. It is
good for you.
3:30 p.m. and beautiful. You can't really see beautiful Waikiki, Hawaii, and we're about to go to dinner tonight, but we can talk about that later. Jose, let's jump into Nerd Chat shoutouts for the week. Shout out to Jam Pack Sam. 3 days ago on our last episode about congratulating them on 200 episodes. Appreciate the kind words, gents. Kev definitely carries the show. Looking forward to seeing you guys past that big milestone. Not to fan the console war flames, but no 30th anniversary PSVR 2 really tells the story of how they're looking at that hardware going forward. And also shout out to Fox Cannon one day ago on Bacon's PS5 30th anniversary short. Maybe they could have done a better job if they didn't announce the PS5 Pro first.
To be fair, they sold out though, right?
Oh, of course it was going to sell out. Come on. Dude, I saw somebody in the XEP Discord didn't get, who got it? One of them got
it was Clint from Spreading the Nerd.
Dude, I was just like, wow, congrats to you, because those are not easy. I don't know how anyone got that stuff. And then Jose, we're about to jump into a special shout out to
we
BigBox.
Talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game.
No, not a game. We're talking about practice. Shout out to BigBox 1431. Uh-oh. Dear Jerk Chat podcast. PlayStation literally just released another Game of the Year winner in Astrobot, and you guys are upset over the announcements of a remaster? Okay, you said one. There's multiple remasters, BigBox. We in here talking about a remaster, not a game, Astrobot, not the game, but a remaster? Not a game that I could go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last, but a remaster? What are we talking about, man? Oh, Chipotle, why do we fall? So we can learn to pick ourselves back up. Chipotle Bear, please address your number one fan, BigBox, on stupid Astrobot and Island Iverson practice.
Shout out to BigBox. Thanks for writing in, buddy. Hope you're doing well. I'll be honest with you. I was not upset about the remasters. I know we talked about it at length. It doesn't bother me. Like I was going to say this last week and we just got busy into it. At the end of the day, if people want remasters, let them buy it. To some degree, like
Jose, your sound's going.
Yeah.
Dude, he's on a Mac, you guys. Even me out here through my phone.
No,
on my
yours
PC.
sounds significantly worse, Daniel.
The whole good time we were out there,
It does.
you were
sound
gone.
worse.
It was fine. Is it back or is it still worse?
That's
You're
good.
good. You're
Okay. I don't care. About the
Is this better, guys?
good. Yeah, it's so much better, Daniel. Keep that up.
To be fair, I am in my headset. This is the Arctis 7X white edition that gets filthy. What about, is this better now? For real?
Yeah, it's better.
This is better. Okay.
I don't mind it, man. Honestly, like I just think that if people want to buy it, they'll buy it. I've benefited from like Resident Evil 4 and Dead Space. There were probably plenty of people thought it was stupid to remake those games. So if you want to buy it, buy it. But I think the Astrobot, that's fine if it's a Game of the Year contender. I don't think it's necessarily going to win.
And
But I think
overrated. No, it will, because it's a PlayStation first-party game that hits on the member berries, and everyone somehow says it's better than any other 3D platformer because it steals everything but put its own twist on it, and it's PlayStation. So you're wrong, Jose. We'll win Game of the Year. Let's just say how it is.
I'll go stand by BigBox and I'll be wrong.
Anyone else have anything to say to BigBox? Because BigBox is he's just pissing me the Jose. He's just pissing me the
Oh, sorry. My
fuck
dog-
off right now. Go ahead, Bacon.
BigBox, my man, my friend, my homie. Not sure if you saw the stats from last week, but Astrobot's sitting at 15th on the most played list on PlayStation, the casual box, where they only play casual games.
That's true.
It looks like a fantastic game, and I will play it on PC. I'll play the best
wait.
edition when it does come to PC. But how a first-party Sony game is sitting 15th, they had to expand the list to even get Astrobot on that list. I'll just leave it at that.
All right, Captain Logan, do you have anything to say about Astrobot in general? Did you play it yet?
I haven't even played Spider-Man 2. That is how little my PlayStation has been getting action.
Okay.
I've just been
Sounds like me in high school.
oh,
But
not getting any action. Oh,
Okay. Well, Logan, hold your thoughts though, since you haven't played it. But Jose, let's jump into Xbox gaming news for the week.
News team, assemble!
All right, the moment we've all been waiting here. Captain Logan requested to be on the show tonight. So Logan, I'm just gonna throw it over to you. What do you need to address the world with right now? What news story did you particularly want to jump into first, or is there something you need to get off that hairy chest of yours?
why is it hairy? Do we
I
know
don't
that?
does it need to be?
Actually,
I'm actually pretty
Captain
hairless.
Logan looks pretty clean shaven.
Manscape. I manscape a lot.
Oh, Manscaped.
Okay.
This is one of those things, and I wanted to really kind of bring this up because this was a conversation that I think we've all been having kind of in DMs, and I wanted to kind of get the gauge for everyone when it comes to remasters and remakes.
News story number 1. Captain Logan goes off about remasters. Let's hear it. Go ahead. I just want to, for the record, I need to timestamp that. Go ahead, Logan. Take it away. Sorry to interrupt.
So I think that this is one of those situations because a lot of conversation we've been seeing has come up around like Horizon Zero Dawn wanting to get getting remastered. Days Gone getting remastered. We've had a lot of games over on PlayStation getting remastered, and it's just one of those things that I think kind of rubs me the wrong way, because it feels like some of these games are still accessible from last generation. They're not something that's lost to time. And in times right now where, there's a good potential for them to do something with this that could be exciting, it feels a little lackluster. So I'm hoping that I wanted to bring to the table a discussion around remasters and how you guys feel about them. How old does a game need to be? Should there be significant improvements to things like accessibility beyond just like the increase in performance or graphics? And really just, if this is something where the market is going to go, do you think Xbox is kind of failing on this with the lack of remasters for beloved franchises like Gears of War and the Halo franchise? Because we already have things like backwards compatibility, auto HDR, FPS boost, thanks to some of the things that the Xbox Series X has brought to the table. Are they kind of like letting some of this slide by not bringing some of those games with some fresher remasters just because they're still accessible? Like, where do you guys feel on this?
It's a great question.
Guys, am I still here? I just want to repeat. Am I still here?
You're good.
Yes, we saw your nipples.
Okay, sorry. Very quickly, the time thing, Logan, I think is difficult to define. How long before an older master? But I will say this. I think these 7 years between, I don't even know. So Horizon Zero Dawn, that is real. Is the Days Gone one? Has that been? Guys, I'm not even kidding right now. I've lost track of what games have been officially announced as remastered and what games have not. So Horizon has, but we're still waiting on Days Gone, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so 7 years from Horizon Zero Dawn. Insane. And the whole Joe talking about accessibility, was that game not accessible 7 years ago on the PS4 and with new updates? Like, I saw you arguing with him, and I was completely agreeing with you. Is like, why can't they just patch that in? If it's about accessibility, I feel like that's something you can patch in. I don't think it needs a remaster. And do I think Xbox is potentially missing out? Yes, they are missing out on sales, Logan. But Xbox is doing the right thing by just offering the back compat program and automatically giving you 4K 60 on Red Dead Redemption, 4K 60 on Forza Horizon, 4K 60 on Fable. I can go back 4K 60 on like Final Fantasy 13. That's like the only place where you can play these games, and just it's like a PC, right? They're just giving us the accessibility right there, or I guess accessibility to play, not accessibility for all players to play necessarily the same way. So I think this is tricky. I personally think it's ridiculous. I think the Horizon is ridiculous. I think the upcoming the upcoming Days Gone is going to be ridiculous. And I think we all know the Ghost of Tsushima, absolutely insane. These games already run and look great. I'm over it. Bubble Boy, I want to hear what you think, because I don't think you really talk about remasters very much.
No, and so there's two different sides of the story to me, and I think the first one, specifically with PlayStation, that upsets me, and I thoroughly believe Joe and Kyle will appreciate this, is how is Bloodborne not on the top of this list? If they're going to do anything, why can't it be Bloodborne?
It's got to be a FromSoft thing.
Sure, I get it, but like Days Regone, that's what makes me get actually emotional and get angry about it. Am I angry that there's a $10 upgrade for Horizon Zero Dawn? No. Do I think it's useless? Probably. I get emotional because I'm like, I want. Do they do polling? Do they see what games do people want? What games are people asking for? What games need that 60 FPS support? I don't think they do, but I'm also not like a PlayStation insider, so I don't really know, right? And so it go ahead.
Sorry, I was just saying they know, and they just know that this is again, we talked about this last week. Sony is the Apple. They are going to nickel and dime you on every possible. Chance just had an experience with an iPad and how Apple
is that nickel and diming though.
Yes,
that iPad is literally like 7 years old.
Why can't he use that iPad? to access Netflix. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Why can't I use my Mac to access iOS from 2001? That's ridiculous.
That's different. That's different. And
I don't know, man. I don't know. We can talk about that later.
No,
Bacon.
Sorry, and then the next part is it is just too soon, right? So what's so incredible about Dead Space remake? What was so incredible about the Resident Evil?
Chance, when did those games originally come out? By the way, do you remember when Dead Space 1 came out? 2006, 2008, somewhere in there. Okay. And that's what Joe was saying. Oh, what about Resident Evil 4? Resident Evil 4, was that a 2002 game on GameCube? Come on, dude. Or what about Link's Awakening? A 1994 game on Game Boy. Okay, Joe, that's the same as a 2017 Horizon. Sorry, go ahead, Boy.
No, that's about it in terms of like, I think that's what I have a problem with. And I'm not going to say that I understand how the money distribution works for a company as large as Sony, but if I was on the Sony Pony Express, I'd be like, can't we put some of these resources into something new? And as I have in my title there, like, I was so excited to hear about all the Ghost of Yotai stuff that I'm like, yes, maybe they can just keep throwing more money at something that sounds so new, so revolutionary for something that already existed, right? It's not a remake. It's not a remaster. It's going to feel probably a lot like Ghost of Tsushima, which is a great thing. It'll be updated, but it's not just slapping the word remake, remaster on another game.
I think you mean director's cut.
Yeah,
sure. That's
Bacon. Before I throw it to you,
my bad.
Shout out to Darren Primero. He said, "Oh God, Dan still has his shirt off. Jesus, put your shirt on, man. Just put on a damn shirt."
Wrong.
Says De Niro. I was all sweaty from a jog, De Niro, so I just.
You motorboating son of a bitch! You old sailor, you.
God, that's a good one. Bacon is the reason why, instead of Joe's reasoning for all of us, the PlayStation remaster system is because we haven't seen a clear roadmap. That's why these remasters hurt more. And I hate this. Oh, well, PlayStation's been doing it since the PS3. That doesn't make it okay. Okay, no. Besides that point. But Bacon is the reason why we're seeing so many remasters right now is because the failed purchase in Bungie, Concord, etc., etc. Is this just the tax we have to pay for Sony's mishaps? And $400 million on Concord. I was just listening to Colin talk about it on Sacred Symbols. Man, the more he explained it, I'm like, dude, Sony sounds like they were making some dumbass decisions. So Bacon, take it away.
I don't have a problem with remasters when they need to be remasters. Dead Space is the classic example, or
that's
Mass
a
Effect.
Remake, though.
That's true. Is that Last of Us 2 also a remake, or was that just a remaster, or was that just a PS5 version?
PS5 version.
It's alarming. The alarming part is the fans who will pay for this again. And I asked and shout out to the trophy room for asking the question I put in the Discord chat. They didn't like the question, but they did ask it. They're both going to buy the game and play it again over. I can't wrap my head around that. I'm going to buy it just so I can get trophy support on PC because they haven't added it to the original first game, and I got to get the freaking platinum because I'm going to out platinum. I'm going to out platinum so many PlayStation fans on my PC. You watch. That's all I care about now. That's my only goal in life is to platinum every single Sony game on my PC in super ultra wide, high frame rates, and all that jazz. And Joe's right. It is trying to fill the gaps because they have no first party roadmap. We saw their state of play. They had one first party game there. If you want, if you want to count that Astro Body thing that is a free update. They have one game to show, and that was Ghost, which is probably, did they say 2025 on that?
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, I am crazy excited to play Ghosts of Yotai TI, whatever it is.
How do you say it, by the way? I haven't seen it.
I've been saying Yotai.
Yotai, right? So.
Let's go! Let's go!
Who sent that link?
He's so angry.
Who sent that link?
He planned this. He planned this whole thing This show is just gonna. Oh God.
We are getting to no other
Brilliant.
news topics.
All right.
Brilliant. Poor
I'll
Logan,
keep
though.
this short.
This is how angry he is. This is how angry he. If he was coming in with a chair, I would get hit with a chair right now.
I thought of this plan on the toilet, and I thought this is hilarious. I have to ask Jose if it's okay.
As soon as I heard that music, I was like, "Oh no!" You executed the plan perfectly.
So, all right, trolling
real quick,
aside,
Jojo, I want to ask you first before you go into your bit.
Yeah.
Did I properly represent the argument
of what? You had a lot of
in
arguments. DMs. I think you have a disdain towards remasters and remakes, of which I don't.
That's fair.
So the one thing we're keeping, like, why does PlayStation do all these remakes and remasters? Yeah. And I think one of the things that you hear a lot of people talk about is the margins are not great for these games anymore. And so these remakes and remasters help fuel those margins to make them look better. So, like, Bobo Boy, what you're saying is, like, why can't they just pour more money into Ghost of Yotai? Well, a lot of that development's helped because of the Ghost of Tsushima director's cut, bringing in revenue for these companies as they're building more expensive stuff, right? And my argument as to why...
Wait, Joe, I got to interrupt you right there. Counterpoint. Okay. How does Xbox manage to make these AAA games when their games aren't getting remasters and they're not selling as well as these PlayStation IPs? And you're telling me Halo...
I don't want to sound like a dickhead.
Okay, here it is.
No, please do.
Let's hear it. They're not the same level as a PlayStation.
What first-party games?
First-party game.
No, I'm
like Horizon 5 is absolutely at the same level as the Sony first-party game.
So one of the reasons why
first-party game.
So one of the reasons why they pivoted to Game Pass was you saw the sales numbers of Halo. Halo 5 Guardians was even below that of Days Gone, and they needed to do something relatively fast. It's one of the reasons why you're like, why aren't they doing these remakes or remasters? Why are they putting their games on PlayStation? Why are they putting their games on Nintendo Switch? Why are they becoming this pseudo third-party publisher? It's to help pay for the development costs of things like Indiana Jones. So they're not doing remakes or remasters, but they're angering their community by putting their games outside of other ecosystems. So what I was saying here is, like, yeah, is the Horizon remaster necessary? No, absolutely not. Is the Marvel Spider-Man one necessary? No, not really. A lot of these are not necessary to us, people who have already played them, right? But here's just a quick list that I made on PS5 remakes and remasters from first party alone. Demon's Souls, Last of Us 1 and 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, Until Dawn, Horizon, Marvel Spider-Man, Neo Remastered.
Holy cow.
9.
God damn.
List of PlayStation 4 remakes and remasters: Uncharted Collection, Last of Us Remastered, Wipeout, Wipeout 2048, Shadow of the Colossus, God of War 3, Gravity Rush, Tearaway, Luminous, Grim Fandango, Day of the Tentacle, Journey, Flow, Flower, Rez, and Ratchet and Clank. And that is also in the same time span. There's more on the PS4, of course, and that's also taking away of.
And those remasters is completely longer.
What's that?
And the difference between those original releases to the remasters are a much longer time frame than the game.
Last of Us was 3 years apart. Last of Us was 3 years apart.
Joe, can I toss out a question for you?
And my argument to, like, the before we get into this.
Yeah.
My argument for the Last of Us Remastered is the same to, like, the Wii U, right? The Wii U's the Nintendo Switch's #1 selling game is a remaster. 62 million units sold. The point of that is there's a lot of games when I came into the PlayStation 4 generation, I have a huge blind spot of PS3. So I never played Luminous. I never played Tearaway, never played Wipeout 2048, never played Shadow of the Colossus. Those are games that I got to play for the first time on my PlayStation 4 in the best way that they were meant to be played. That's awesome. That just brings more people in. So you go, why remake Horizon? The argument is why remaster it? I got Green Gorilla in my community. He's 20. right? When the first Horizon came out, he was not able to play this game. Now he is. And now he's interested
Joe,
in
he's still
pursuing the
able to
remaster.
play the first Horizon right now without the remaster. You could literally play it on your PS5 at 60 FPS and play it at just as good as experiences you're going to get on the remaster.
But I would argue for him, it entices him because it's like, oh, this is an updated engine. There's new stuff in here, and that's going to get him in.
That's the nickel and diming that we're talking about. It's
but that's
not
like
about,
that's money poured into development time for that thing.
But they didn't have to develop it. They could have taken that money and put it towards a new IP. Instead, they spent money on remastering to try and suck in money for for other games.
So the argument there is, right, when it comes to remakes and remasters of safe things, it's a safe bet. It costs way less, and it's going to give you more money in the long run. But when they see things like The Last of Us Remastered selling more on PS4 than it ever did on PS3, how can you argue that that's not a way to go? Right?
I guess my issue with it is that when you are building a community around remasters and remakes of safe content, it kills first party. It kills new IP.
And so I don't think it kills new IP. In fact, I think
it absolutely does.
No, I don't think so in the slightest.
What's a new IP that we've gotten on PS5 since?
And that's my point.
Concord.
So so like no, but like real talk. That's kind of the point there though. Like they need to fund these bigger games, and that's why these remakes and remasters exist. They're safe bets, they're known money, and that's why they push them out.
But when all you're doing is pushing out old content with newer skins, you're not generating. Like remember when we were talking about how PlayStation. Remember when we were talking about how PlayStation was constantly like the indie machine? They were pumping out content with indies, and people were loving all of the new stuff that was coming to PlayStation.
PS4.
And then Switch took that.
Whoa, Dan, watch out the nipple there. You almost got us there, bud.
Shit.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? We don't have that roadmap because the pipeline for PlayStation is absolutely effed right now, right? That's what happened with COVID. That's what happened with all the shakeups and the influx of people coming in and the influx of people coming out. And so they have to sit. It's them going, oh crap, it's taking longer to develop these games, not just because dev time's getting longer, but COVID on top of that. We do need to bring revenue in. And so these safe bets are the things that's going to keep them going as they get to the new IP. The problem is that we don't know the roadmap. That's truly it.
I don't think that's the only problem. I think what Logan
How? Because the PS4, listen, we did not have this conversation during the PS4 generation.
Because the PS4 wasn't remastering games like this.
I just listed you double the amount of remasters and remakes on the PlayStation 4 that there are on the PS5. But why do you keep that same energy?
I'm saying I don't think they were necessary either. I completely think that those are a waste as well.
But we weren't
PS3
saying that
also
back
sold
in 2016, 2017.
You keep making this comparison. Oh, well, what about the Wii U to the Switch?
Yes.
Wii U sold 14 million units, right?
14 million people. I bought a Wii U.
86 million people who bought the PS3.
Right,
That's
but that 86 million
different.
people still like that population doesn't compute when you have something like The Last of Us Remastered, Last of Us 1 on PS3 being outsold by the remaster on a smaller audience.
I'm just saying, I don't think that's cute. My final thought here on this is
because to me, I think we're arguing because we already played these games and we're not realizing there may be people that already have.
It's not even that. What I'm arguing is that Sony is convincing its fans that this $10 upgrade thing is okay. And that they can do this to you over and over. Yes, they are, Joe. That's what
I think the Horizon thing proves that wrong. When we talked about the upgrade paths, right? Remember there was this huge kerfuffle when the second Horizon was coming out, right? Of just like, hey, this is a cross-gen PS4, PS5 thing. And Jim Ryan had to get off his pedestal and talk to the masses going, okay, you know what? For this game, we'll allow PS4 to PS5 games. But then after this, we're drawing the line in the sand here. And that's when people are like, the audience literally went, okay.
Sony is teaching its audience that this is how they're going to.
Okay, but if that's true, then you have to then admit that Xbox teaches its audience not to buy games.
Fair. They also the Xbox
and then that's
also
why
teaches,
Xbox is in this position. And then you can't be upset that they're porting games over to PS5.
I'm not upset
and
that they're porting games.
No.
I play on PC. I want games everywhere. I think Game
Yes,
Pass.
Bubble Boy.
No, I'm on the record. I am thrilled that they're putting them other places. I want
Yes.
more
I
people
love
to
Game
enjoy
Pass,
the
Joe.
thing I love.
Yeah.
But if Game Pass ended,
Excellent, Bubble Boy.
my life would be continue on as normal because
Yeah.
I still pick and choose. I still buy games too. I'm not.
But you're the
one of those
minority.
people
because they've trained the audience not to buy
minority on
games.
Xbox.
There are several
Here's the
minorities
thing.
here.
But I also think people are buying games on PlayStation too. So
What's that?
Sorry, go ahead. I think besides diehard PlayStation fans, there are casual fans who are only buying Maddens and then playing free-to-play games.
And that's the other
on
thing
PlayStation.
that we're not talking about. Is like most people are just playing Madden and Call of Duty, the same games every single year.
Yeah.
The true issue that's killing creativity is not remasters or remakes. I think that's ridiculous. I think the thing that's killing creativity is chasing the live service. That's the thing that's killing it. It's the 7 games that are currently charting on Twitch right now.
But that's where people are playing. That's where people are spending their time.
So how do you condition the audience to what do you make? What is the thing that you have to
more
do?
accessible games, whether it be through Game Pass or price or
you have to.
I don't think it's remasters.
To me,
I'm not saying remasters are
to me that's like you have to flip the market on its head, and I don't think anybody's doing that. PlayStation, Xbox, nobody.
To say that remasters and remakes aren't the thing that's stifling creativity in the industry is not factual. It is because more people are still buying remasters and remakes to go in between their seasons for the live service games. It's a Ashes to Ashes brings this up. It's a combination of the two. There's not enough new IP supported out there for us to really like embrace it because there's so many games outside of that are being remastered that are safe bets that people would pick up because they've been playing live service games for long enough that they're like, oh, I do kind of remember the love in like Resident Evil 4 or The Last of Us.
And I think so. One of the things that I'd argue with to that is like I take a look at games like Hitman 3. I adore Hitman 3. Is one of my favorite games of all time, and I loved it so much I went back into that game's history to play it and to play all of them. Plat that game. I have close to 200 hours in that game.
Did you have to buy the remaster or did you just go buy it?
To me, I had to go buy them.
Okay. So and they were just fine playable that way?
I had to buy them and they were remastered in the Hitman 3 engine. And I had to buy them, the remastered versions.
Okay.
Resident Evil. And Resident Evil 2 is the thing that made me fall in love with Resident Evil. That's a remake. Like, even like the Legacy of Kain. The thing that I was teasing you with is like, I know. There are so many games that I've never played, even in a generation ago. Alan Wake, a great example. Metal Gear, never played.
But here's my point: is that there's a difference between going from a PS3 cell engine architecture to a 64X or whatever it is, the 84X architecture for PS4. Those are the same architectures from a CPU level for the PS4 and the PS5. There's no feasible reason why you can't address the upgrade path for that. The same thing with the Wii U. Different architecture system with the Wii U and the Switch.
And now this is where I'm going to talk maybe out of turn, and you Xbox folks can help me out here, right? When it goes to like, well, why are they charging for these games? Because they're pouring money into them. They're not a charity, right? Like, so when you go, well, I can play my 360 game theoretically on my on my Xbox Series console, right?
Yes.
Why did Microsoft make that system? Because they want you to go out there and buy the digital version of said game. Now, for what I'm aware of, the backwards compatibility stuff that they were doing with 360 and original, they've sunsetted. They're not doing that anymore.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Why?
They've run out of licenses that they can purchase to be able to get access to those games to do that.
Money. They don't want to spend it. It's not that they don't. It's not that they can't.
Joe,
it's not that they can't. It's that they won't. And that's the rub. No company's in it because they're your friend or because they're a charity.
Jose.
They both want money out of you.
I
so
agree,
like,
Joe.
and I'm not arguing that the Xbox version is the way more consumer friendly version. The PlayStation version is the one that's more commercial, that entices more people and more eyes because they go, wow, that is a glow up between Horizon Zero Dawn, PS4 and PS5. And that's the thing.
Comment.
Yes.
I'm the most casual gamer there is. And I don't think we need to remaster a game that's 7 years old unless there was some issues in the beginning. And I played Horizon and I didn't see any.
So the one thing that was really excellent about this remaster that I really like is the voice sync and the mocap. Mocap in that game was doo-doo caca. And them redoing it and retouching it, that's pretty rad. Now, I'm a big Bloodborne guy. I would love a Bloodborne remake. I'd love a Bloodborne remaster. I would goddamn love that thing to be 60 FPS. But gosh darn it, From Software is a little bit too big for their britches now, and they won't touch it because there's no price that Sony is willing to pay to make that happen unless someone's name is Bluepoint and unless they hire a small team to work with that company to get that remaster patch, whatever it is, out. Will it happen? Absolutely. Will it be on PlayStation 6? Absolutely. But to me, the argument is like that game plays perfectly fine. And it's 9 years old, only 2 years older than Horizon. It doesn't need a remaster. Doesn't need a remake. But we really want one though. We act like 30 FPS is unplayable. In a year or two, most games are going to be 30 FPS, not 60,
not according to Mark Cerny.
No.
Oh. But
and Danny, you're a big Colin fan. Colin's even warned about this 2 years ago.
Don't call me Danny.
You know?
Danny?
Mr. Diwali. So like to me, you know,
I'm not Danny Diwali, Joe. Get it right.
Yeah, you're big D. No, little D right now. Because I think you're compensating with the lack of shirt. So that's the thing. He can't prove it because he's gonna be like, oh, it's a small. I got a breeze.
Oh, I have a moderate.
So
nat.
I've
never bragged. Let everyone know I have a mod nat and I'm fine with it. Okay, I'm fine. Keep going.
So it just comes down to like IP that you love. I'm willing to spend $9 on the Horizon remaster because it's like it's $9. It's a DoorDash order. Okay, fine. I would not be willing to spend $50 on it. I would not be willing to spend 60 or 70.
That's just it, Joe.
Absolutely
You're proving
not.
my point. PlayStation is getting you. They're getting you. Like, oh, it's okay.
$10.
This is okay. Here's my $10.
It's $10.
That's exactly what they want.
To Joey's point, though.
But it's a transaction. Like, dude, you're acting like they're like hypnotizing me, and it's just like it's a business transaction. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't buy it.
It is a conditioning, though. And
it is
Xbox is doing the same thing.
But they're saying, and exactly, but they're saying like, hey, are you okay with this? And you're right. It is a conditioning every year that Xbox raises the price of Game Pass by $1. You're like,
no, not even that. Not even that. It's the $30 like get early access thing that they're doing through Game Pass. That is their conditioning. They're selling you early access to content that should just be the actual release date.
I got shattered space with my early access too. Okay, Logan.
I'm saying like the conditioning is on both sides. But it's just one of those things where I feel like I'm getting more with the $30 that I spend through Game Pass to get early access and the digital content than the minor bump in quality to get the director's cut version of like Horizon Zero Dawn. And that's the thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way is I would hope that we understood that these things are not too big of a graphical leap or change in how they.
Well, I think it's a big graphical leap. I'll be honest, like between like PS4 and PS5, like. That is literally like, hey, this is the new engine, and we're porting it over to the new engine. And
I don't know,
mocap,
man.
like it seems pretty okay.
I platinumed Horizon Zero Dawn on my PS5, and that's
the other thing. I love Horizon.
Right now,
it's the reason why the trophy room exists.
I know.
So to me, it's like
I'm just saying. I'm a hardcore gamer, and I was like, this seems perfectly good to me. I don't know what else you could do. But, guys, I think the chat has had sick and tired of this arguing. Let's move on.
Let Bacon add anything. Bacon didn't get even talk for the last 20 minutes.
Oh, I've been watching a football game.
Is Bacon here still?
And also, Bacon, can we please stop the king bullshit of doing sales charts? Video games are art, and to just narrow them down to they don't sell as well is such a dumb fanboy bullshit. We gotta work past
a first-party banging.
No, and that's the other thing that's very annoying. That's the other thing that's very annoying. Let me get on this.
Same thing with Hellblade 2. He made fun of Hellblade 2 not charting.
All right,
I remember
children.
that.
Don't do it. Don't because like don't make for me. This is my argument.
Children.
This is my argument. When we narrow it down to sales arguments and that's all we're talking about, then we are taking away the art aspect of the video game.
Fair.
And that sucks because then we just become the radio shock jocks because Astrobot costs $15 million to probably make.
Joe,
it's just like it's small budgets. Like
it's not a 95.
Joe, you know why I say stuff like that,
so.
right?
I like it. But you got to stop.
You know why I say stuff like
when
that,
they
right?
go low, you go high.
Okay,
sometimes.
just so we know, this is get back for those everyone in
There's
on
no get
Twitter.
backs.
Everyone is on Twitter.
Bacon has to defend. He has to defend his honor and Xbox honor.
Everybody knows that everything Xbox does, all their sales get plastered all over the internet. And the fanboys that you podcast with occasionally, not saying you're part of them, you podcast with these idiots.
Are they on my show?
I'm just saying. And all they do is talk about utter failures of numbers.
Because I'm also on the other guys' shows, and when they do talk about the numbers, I always argue back of let's talk about the game.
Guys,
you are the level-headed one in the group every time.
Can we just take Silk
Alan
and his
Wake,
advice?
amazing.
Guys, stop, Joe.
All
if
right.
we talked only art, people would play more indie, and we'd all win.
I love that
right,
argument,
you guys.
Silk,
Can we
hell
just
yeah, bud.
agree?
All right, there you go. That was my. I'm gonna be gone now. I love you all.
Bye, buddy.
Good to see you, Joe.
All right, see you later, Joe.
And?
News story. All right, so you still on?
I just feel bad for Logan because he was our actual.
Logan, I'm right there with you. I think the remasters are out of control. Let's be real. And what's worse though is at this point we already know we're gonna see a lot. We're gonna see Days Gone remastered. We're gonna see Ghost of Tsushima remastered, and it is what it is.
Returnal remaster.
Sony knows what they're doing, and that's all there is to it. They're making money, and they're conditioning their fans to be like, "Oh, this is $10. I mean, why not? Cool." All right. Anyway, news story number 2.
Do we have a news story number 2? I didn't.
We never got to news story number 1.
We never got to 1.
Oh, sorry. No, this is news story number 2 because Captain Logan's rant versus
gotcha,
Joe was
gotcha,
news number 1. News story number 2.
Logan didn't even get to talk. That was
announced
his rant.
the state of play for September 2024, guys. I got nothing. Logan,
you got
I
nothing.
think
You told me we had to put this on here and talk about it.
Well, I know Joe. I know, or no, not Joe. I know that Bacon will want to talk about. And Logan, you did tweet out, or you mentioned in our chat. What was that? That Hell Is Us. That game, right?
Oh yeah.
That looks cool from what I read. I didn't really get to see it from.
I thought it was Helly-sus.
Because I don't know if you guys noticed. I'm in Waikiki Beach, Hawaii. I haven't had a chance to
Where are you
be
at?
on Twitter all day.
He's been live streaming all day.
I know. Playing mini golf.
But that game did look cool. It looked like a horror sci-fi Souls game. Is that what I read correctly? So Logan, take away what stood out to you from the state of play that you are interested in that isn't a remake or a remaster?
Hell Is Us looks awesome. The aesthetic, the design, it's a beautiful looking game, and they've like started to like pull different elements from other games like influence and design to try and craft like a type of combat that looks a little more deep than just like your typical Elden Ring or something. I'm digging this because it looks post-apocalyptic. It looks like it's just gonna absolutely smash, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'm glad that we got the announcement that that's actually coming over to Xbox as well too. The Xbox did the little cheeky tweet afterwards telling me like,
is that really cheeky? Because I feel like PlayStation and Xbox always do it. They always they've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Probably not cheeky, but you know, it's good to know. Like after every state of play or every Xbox showcase, I'm always like, you know, scrubbing through socials to be like, okay, what's actually like exclusive, what's not. But seeing that like Hell Is Us is going to be coming to Xbox means it's probably coming to PC as well, which means it's going to probably play really, really well on a nice 4080 Super I got, and I'll have like all the frame rates and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know about you guys. I'm not really like a good when it comes to spooky, but this looks like it's enough action.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
It would be like just right for me to be able to like just get into, and it looks wicked. I'm really excited for that for the main one.
Before I throw it over to Bubble Boy, I'm gonna be a little controversial here, boys. The Ghost of Yotai.
Oh, get out of here!
I swear, and I platinum Ghost of Tsushima. Dude, to me, I'm like this. I'm like, it looks like more of a game I've already played. I don't know.
But for the
Maybe I'm
fans
over
out there,
these
Dan is
sequels, you
bitter
guys.
because you can't skip the cutscenes. That is why. Dan
Oh
hated
my god,
Ghost of
that's a great
Tsushima.
point. If they
That
didn't
is
add
why.
that, then I'm definitely not playing. But Bubble Boy, was there anything else that stood out to you? You're that excited for the Ghost? I mean,
So, God, I don't want to go back to the remaster talk, but like I was saying, I think this is so much better than any sort of director's cut or remaster. Is a true sequel that's going to take a lot from the first game and expand on it. That is so exciting. And well, we're going to have to wait and see. And I can be hopeful, can't I? And I love the idea of a TV show, a movie, a podcast, all these different things.
Really?
I do. I think
Sony's
it's
just
cool.
like, come here, Bubble Boy. Here, give me some more money.
I don't have a
Come
PS6.
on.
I don't
I
have
don't
a
think he's
PS5. I'm
thinking
not
about
going to be
it
able to
as
play
Sony.
this yet. And what else has been done like this where they said from the beginning they're going to do all these things? Sure,
Final
Fallout.
Fantasy 9?
Concord.
No, what was the Final Fantasy with the boy band?
Oh gosh,
They had the mobile app. They had the movie. They did a lot of multimedia with that one too.
Wait, 10-2? Is that what you're talking about?
No, not
he said
not
boy,
10
the
2.
15. 15's the one with
Is
the
15
guys,
the one with the boy
bros on
band?
road trip. Yes.
Yeah. They did a lot back in, what was it, 2016? They announced all the cross promotion.
Giant fail, and I guess this is gonna suck. I don't know. No, okay. So once I don't know. I am excited that I think the success that Fallout had, that Fallout TV show, is bringing video games to more of a mainstream audience that doesn't just play video games, and I think that's always going to be a success. When you and Joe were arguing, and Logan, what I ultimately kept hearing was money, money, money is going to drive all this, and that's entirely true. And so hopefully all the money being gained from a TV show or a movie or a podcast can be put back into making good games.
Yes. It did confirm Final Fantasy 15 had an anime movie.
Oh gosh,
and lots of story DLC. Bacon,
Sure.
you got the platinum to Ghost of Tsushima on
because I
PC.
platinum all my
did it on
PlayStation games, unlike a lot of people in the community.
What are you excited for from the state of pay, as they call it, as we call it?
I got to be fair here, and I got to be fair with that Tokyo Game Show today. There was, other than Ghost, there's nothing in here for me. I like Logan was falling asleep.
I'm surprised, Bacon.
I was definitely falling asleep.
I was falling asleep during this. I don't know how the trophy room came out with their 7s and 8s on this one. Ghost saved it. If it wasn't for Ghost,
imagine if Ghost wasn't there.
That might have been a 4. That would have been with baby steps as like one of the worst. But Ghost is great. I loved Ghost of Tsushima, except for grinding for that platinum.
Cutscenes, yes.
I don't mind the cutscenes. I like it. Put story together, Dan. I get it. You're a gamer on a time budget.
No. You should have the option to read. I can quickly read. I don't need.
Okay. I see what you mean.
I'm not saying I want to skip everything.
You don't want the prolonged.
Hey, will
acting.
you go get this bale of hay for me? I don't need you to spend 20 minutes explaining that to me, and then for me to come back. Come on, let's speed it up.
So you don't.
Shout
you
out
don't
to
have
David. Sorry, Monster Hunter Wilds, Bacon. What about that? Have any of us played Monster Hunter? I've heard good things, but I don't think any of us have played.
Yeah, no, I just wrote back to him. I tried. I really wanted to get into it because it seems like it's has such a great community too, and they clearly keep making them all the time.
Best-selling Capcom game.
Couldn't do it. Yeah, I need to. I need to try.
But this has always been the main reason why I haven't been a PlayStation main. Is I guess we're not supposed to call them JRPGs, but I just don't like JRPGs.
Yeah.
At all. And it's nothing against the game. It's nothing against the PlayStation community. That's where it's made their bread and butter. I just cannot play those games. I just can't do it. So as far as that, I mean, I'll play Astro's DLC when it comes to
Bacon.
To PC, and then Ghost, and that is it.
Bacon, what about Final Fantasy 16? Are you interested in that at all?
I played the demo. I was in early on the Steam demo. I like it even better than 7, but I'm gonna wait for a sale because I'm not a Final Fantasy guy. So
I'm waiting for that to go on sale too.
Yeah,
and you should. But here's why I know you will like it, Bacon. It's Final Fantasy's version of Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Okay,
And I like the set pieces. I like what I played in the demo and the time frame or the time period and all that. I liked it. So it'll come on sale. I'll buy it. But I just Final Fantasy
it's a super lazy comparison for me to make, but you will see right away why everybody made that comparison. And that's not a bad one, right? If you're going to compare yourself to something, Game of Thrones is not a bad one.
Is it because they push a kid out of a window?
Twice, in fact. And one of the times he's a naked kid. So,
just like
about that.
Jose, any reaction to the state of pay, or should we move on to Tokyo Game Show?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, and to be very clear, I don't have a PlayStation. I have not had a PlayStation since the 4, and it's not because I'm like against PlayStation like Bacon. I was an Xbox dude. And then Bacon, thankfully, not to harp on Bacon, showed me the light of the PC, and I'm very, very content in PC world, and so I've just kind of resorted myself to be like, look, if it's meant for me to play on PC, great, and if not, I can be happy for other people that want to play it. I'm certainly not going to hate on it. And so when I see the lineup from the State of Pay, there was some cool stuff, right? Like I also like the Hell Is Us.
You didn't? Did you do that on purpose?
Absolutely,
or was that a Freudian? Okay,
I'm not an idiot, I know. But other things I thought were cool, just worth mentioning. I think the DLC for Ninja Turtles is cool. I'm probably not going to go back and play it, but that's rad that they're still doing it. I love Mondo Deco.
Great game.
Absolutely, I like that Alan Wake 2 is getting another DLC because I didn't even get to play the recent one, so that'll be something I'll play at some point.
I think Jose, I'm going to wait until there's like a complete edition on Steam and then just snag it on there.
A director's cut.
Yeah.
Exactly, Logan.
I see what you did there.
I also think it's a little. We were joking about it a little bit, but like I think it's weird that we're seeing the PSVR 2 stuff because I kind of had.
That's what I was gonna say, Jose. Like, shout out to PlayStation for supporting it. I'm shocked.
I was shocked.
Like,
I also laughed,
though.
and even Joe and Kyle laughed when they showed the Hitman promo where it's a dude who has the VR and holding the guns, and I was like, he is not going to be able to see very well as he's out there in the real world.
That sounds very dangerous.
But other than that, there's some of the cool stuff. I mean, I think I like the Dino Crisis stuff. The Stellar Blade. I still kind of want to play Stellar Blade one day if it comes to PS or to PC.
It will.
But I mean, I'm happy for them. Look, because here's the thing. For months now, I have been making fun of like, there's really not a lot of games on PlayStation. Are these all games I want to play? No. But that doesn't mean that I can't be happy for the people that do want to play them. And hopefully they have stuff to do now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I also think it's absurd that people are paying for the PS5 Pro. Like that, the price there alone is just insane to me, right? Like Bacon sent the thing in our chat today. If you didn't know this, the people that were able to snag that 30th anniversary bundle, they're going for $4,000 on eBay right now. That is insane to me. That is more than my entire PC setup, including our mics and cameras and my TV that's my monitor. Like it's way above that. So it's just not my world, but I'm happy that it's out there, man. And I wish you get to play what you want. That's where I'll leave it.
Silkenet Shoutout said in Final Fantasy 16, maybe wait for an ultra wide support. Was ready to buy it, but it didn't have that. So I'm waiting. I did see Silkenet. There are already mods that people put out for that, but I haven't gone into modding things, Bacon. So I also will wait. But Silkenet, you might be waiting a long time because I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy VII Remake still doesn't have ultra wide support. So I don't know, dude. You might have to just play it in a standard 16:9. Guys, let's move on to news story number 3, aka the Tokyo Game Show, Xbox at Tokyo Game Show. Bacon, I didn't even watch it. So what did I miss? And Logan, you feel like Logan was falling asleep apparently? What happened?
For starters, Phil Spencer came out wearing a StarCraft t-shirt. So awesome on that. The only big announcement I got from this was that StarCraft 1 and 2 are both coming into PC Game Pass. Everybody should play that. That is a game that we could sit down and 4v4 and 1v1 on a 4v4 map and find out who's the best. The game is absolutely incredible. It's huge in Korea. Standard awesome Blizzard cutscenes. Everybody should play StarCraft if you have any desire to play an RTS. So I'm going to make you guys play that game.
I'll play it, Bacon.
Well, and my only exposure to it is through watching Nick play, and it would make me sick. It would literally watching him. He was so fast and doing so many things all at once.
You can't compare them. No,
we there would literally be like 10 of us like crowded around in this small dorm just watching him, and every once in a while someone would be like, and not like because we were grossed out, but it's just like I literally don't know how he knows what's going on right now. It was all going so fast.
They're fantastic games. And then other than that, it was a bunch of Japanese games, which is the Tokyo Game Show. It was a bunch of games that I don't particularly care for. So there was nothing much in there for me. Sarah Bond showed up, and that's always a plus when Sarah Bond is anywhere in public and we can all see Sarah Bond. But other than that, there was a Fallout 76, but I didn't care enough to pay attention.
Adding pets.
They're adding pets to 76.
Solid.
There was also a new trailer for Metal Gear Snake Eater, right?
Yeah.
I believe. And then also
no release date though.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered is coming to Xbox.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. So do we get
No
any
7,
announcement
no
on
7.
Final Fantasy games? So Pixel Remaster is coming though.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, Bubble Boy. I remember. Didn't you get that on your iPad or did you get it on PlayStation? I can't remember.
I bought each different one.
Which one is that?
Standalone on the iPad, and so it
Okay.
should be 1 through 6, I believe.
And
Which
it's
is
not
cool,
in
but you
Game
can
Pass.
you can already play it on Steam right now. But I'm excited for, this is something I'll get my brother. Big Final Fantasy guy. I'm very excited he'll be able to play those because I remember he was bummed when he saw those and found out that those were not available on Xbox. So that is cool. But so King David was wrong apparently, as Joe pointed out. We didn't get Final Fantasy 7. We didn't get Final Fantasy
to King's
16.
defense. Jez was saying the same thing, and
Yeah, Jez is saying that it's written, it's just not out yet.
Okay.
Bacon, what about, so MCAN wrote that question. If you were a total StarCraft noob, like never had ever played the game, is it worth starting? Like, would he be able to even hang with people that are just going to destroy him? Like,
yeah, there's always things. There's a campaign to play through, so you'll have encounters you can do and learn the game in the campaign. I don't know how active the original servers would be on one.
Still
that game is it? That game is crazy.
More people are playing Brood War right now probably than StarCraft 2. And if you do start out with StarCraft, go with StarCraft 2. It's a much better system. Go through the campaigns and then jump into the co-op commander stuff because that's
I got
something.
all those co-op missions. Yep.
Those were all paid content when the game actually came out. If it comes to Game Pass and the co-op commanders are included, that's a lot of free content that you don't have to pay for, and it's actually really good content. So though you can level up your different co-op commanders, and it's just like co-op systems kind of like meshing the two different like main antagonists or like protagonists that you have throughout the campaign. So you get back all these people that you've talked to throughout the campaign, and they have like special abilities that kind of augment the gameplay, and it's kind of like adding modifiers to a game to kind of like make it a little more interesting and stuff. So it's a lot more in depth, and then you can always go back if you want to learn about like Jim Raynor and Kerrigan and stuff for the StarCraft 1 and then Brood Wars and stuff. So start out with 2.
Cool.
You can also set up your own games and play against the computer, and you can set 4v4 and then assign different skill levels to the opponents. You have like the Zerg being expert level and see how good you are. There is a ton of fun in StarCraft 2, and I agree you should probably start with StarCraft 2. If you do want to dive deeper, you can go back to 1. But 1 shows its legs because I played that on a gateway pre-built in my wife's dorm room when she was in college. That's how old 1 is. So,
Dang.
I really hope you guys give StarCraft a shot. It is.
Oh, I'm
just
for sure
for
gonna.
you, buddy. I will absolutely.
Is this all in console and PC or just?
I thought
PC.
I read it was console, but
Just
yeah, Logan
PC?
says PC only.
Just PC. It's not.
Okay.
They're not
Yeah, I was
remastering
gonna say, I don't-
anything. It's just bringing it to Game Pass.
They're not gonna pull.
I hope they
Sony
give us
just
achievements, though. I want the 1,000.
Oh my god.
Add it to the list, Bacon.
Logan, anything else you want to talk about, or are we good to move on for the Tokyo Game Show?
So we got the one little point. I got to see Indiana Jones slap a Nazi, which was really cute. That was
They had
kinda fun.
another Indiana Jones trailer.
And another
Dude,
Indiana
they gotta
Jones
stop. I'm all in. Just stop it already. I don't need to see
Had
more of this
Japanese
game.
voices on it too. It was pretty cool. So it's been localized.
Yeah. I would say there's the Sin Duality game, which is like a mech game that you get like a little like AI person that kind of hangs around you. I'm not an Armored Core person, but I loved Steel Battalion and Mech Assault. So if this like scratches that itch in something that we haven't seen in a while, I'm kind of tempted to jump into that just because it looks like it might be a little bit fun. I don't know. Did you guys jump into Anthem? Did you enjoy Anthem at all?
I never played Anthem. I love Titanfall.
Okay. The gameplay of Anthem is spot on. The creation of the game itself was horrible, but there was something in there that was like, you could see where the fun was in that game. They just had too many studios trying to build different parts of that game. And when they stitched it together, it came out terribly, like this ugly Frankenstein monster of a game. And that's why that failed. But the actual like gunplay and hover mechanics with the mechs and stuff, the javelins were actually really, really fun.
Yeah, it always looked good.
So that's kind of where I'm looking with like the Sin Duality game, is I think that there's actually something that could be on a more simplified level when it comes to like mech games that we don't really see too much. And Silken, it tells me to play Armored Core 6. I don't do Souls games very well, so that kind of precision.
I hear it's easier.
I was just gonna say
but
that,
it's
Silken,
not a Souls game though.
Yeah, but
I think it has mechanics like it,
have
though.
any of us played it? Bubble Boy, you didn't even get to. I'm interested. I feel like Logan, maybe you should check in on that for all of us, because you seem to have the most interest in these mech games, and I hear it's once you get a certain build, it's actually very, I don't want to say easy, but doable.
Yeah, that you're not wrong about that. Like, it really does matter about the build. But it is very much designed around the idea that if you fail a mission, you get kicked all the way back to the checkpoint of that, as opposed to starting back where you like started, like the boss encounter and stuff. So it is very much designed around like the boss encounters and building around each one as it's like a chess game. You're really having to be strategic about how you go into it.
Gotcha. Guys, let's move on to a news story number 4. This is Bacon. I want you to take it away because I don't know any of this PC nerd shit you're about to spew out to me. Take it away there, Bacon.
Apparently, the 50 series specs have leaked for the 5090 and the 5080. I'm just going to come out and say it. The 5090 is going to be an absolute beast. The amount of extra we're getting from my 4090 makes it a day one for me. Major increase in CUDA cores, 32 gigabytes of GDDR7. That is like absurd. But there's quite a step up from the 5080 to the 5090. And I think NVIDIA is pulling a Sony here and forcing people to the higher model, because the amount you're getting with this 5090 is absolutely absurd. But the one thing that's concerning is this 600 watt TDP. That means you're going to have a pretty substantially
I was just going to say,
beefy power supply.
People were freaking out about this, Bacon. Didn't it have 2 of the current new
16
pins?
It only says
that
one
we
16
have?
pin right now. That's what it says. I mean, I got
I thought I
1300
saw.
watt.
Was the picture I saw fake where it had 2 of them next to each other? That's insane.
I heard the 2 too.
Bacon.
I mean, it could. 600 watts is a ton. I mean, my 4090 is doing 450 right now, so that's a substantial increase in power. But it also is going PCIe 5.0, so there's a ton here to be excited about. My motherboard supports 5.0 and all that. So,
what is that? I don't know.
It's the speed and the bandwidth of your PCI talking to your
how much
your
stuff
CPU.
it can do, Dan.
Now, I know what the
So
PCIe
what's your-
is. I didn't know that we were on a 4. I did not know that on my 4080.
There's more memory in this GPU than there is in most people's computers. I mean, when you think about that, 32 gigs of VRAM. I don't even touch the VRAM allocation on my 4090. So,
to be fair, they were low on that before compared to the AMD cards. I do remember that's why you told me not to get, or that was one of my concerns going with the 4080 versus.
And you haven't touched your VRAM allocation yet either on your.
I know, but I have 16, 24 versus. I don't know if I like that, Bacon. It's still rumored at 16 for the 5080.
Get the 5090, bro.
Oh my god, Bacon!
5090, bro.
God.
You gotta do it.
Is there rumor on price, Bacon, or no?
I mean, the 4090 MSRP was 1600, so I would say 18 on this MSRP.
Oh my
idiot!
And I don't need it. My 4090 is gonna last for like 5-6 more years, but boy howdy, do I want it. So,
what kind of power supply would we need? At least
1200.
minimum?
I mean, your system.
I'm good. I got a 1300 then.
Yeah, me too. I planned ahead with my power supply in this build, so I'd say you could probably get by with 1,000. I would assume because the rest of your PC's not using 400 watts. So.
Oh God! All right, we'll stop the nerdy chat here, you guys.
No, but I am curious as a noob to all this. So Dave asked, I'm just waiting for them to start putting a plug in just for the GPU. Is that even reality? Is that a thing?
I mean, possible? I've seen dual power supply PC builds before, so yes, it is very possible.
Whoa, that's crazy.
That's a fire hazard, bud.
Not really.
Literally.
Shout out
to Nissa.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I was just saying you got to put Todd's comment up there.
What is Todd said?
The
5090 is the 4090 remaster, Bacon. It's true.
I talk a lot of smack, but I'm going to buy this. So imagine the ray tracing that this is. Because this is probably going to be third gen
ray tracing. Bacon.
This is probably going to be third gen DLSS with ray
Bacon, you have the greatest GPU available right now. Use it for many years. We don't need to spend thousands on incremental upgrades like the PS5
This is
Pro,
not incremental,
Bacon.
Dan. This is not incremental upgrades.
I mean, technically, if we're going to nitpick the verbiage here, it is an increment up above what you have.
It's pretty substantial. 5,000 more CUDA cores. I mean, that's a lot.
I mean,
okay. Enough with the nerd chat. Nissa, we will be getting you on the show. We need to talk to you about psychology. I did have a talk about how the addiction of Souls games, but I'll save it for another time. Deja Vu has a big boy power supply as well.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, man. Shout out to Deja Vu. He told me that they got the win the other night without me being there, which is nice to hear. And
Dan was actually surprised.
No, I wasn't. I was also like, hey, Deja Vu, do you know where I am? He's like, I know you're in Hawaii. Guys, if you didn't know, I'm streaming live from Waikiki Beach. If you can still see the sun is setting, it's beautiful Waikiki. Moving on to news story number, what is this?
5.
Number 5? Do we need to talk about this? Guys?
No, yeah, I don't think so. Honestly.
Assassin's Creed.
Let's just jump into. Is there anything else that we need to talk about news story wise? Because we've already been going on for what is this? An hour? We're at an hour and 10 minutes. Anybody want to save these? Guys, let's jump into what have we been playing and or watching. I want to throw it over to our guest, Captain Logan. But before I do, I'm just going to have to say this is going to be my exit from the show, you guys. I don't know if you knew, but I am recording live from beautiful Waikiki Beach in Honolulu, Hawaii out there. We have a dinner reservation coming up. But as Bacon knows, I don't miss a week. I've been on every Nerd Chat show. I made it here. I'm going to leave right now because I haven't been playing. Because I don't know if you guys knew this. I haven't had much time to play because right now I'm in Waikiki Beach,
exclusive
Honolulu.
World premiere.
We have a dinner reservation coming up, guys. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Captain Logan for being here. I've had a blast being here, hearing the epic fight between Logan and Joe crashing the show. Guys, enjoy the rest of your night. I'll be watching from beautiful Waikiki Beach in Honolulu, Hawaii. From the stream. All right, guys. So shout out to you guys. And I will be watching during dinner tonight. So see you later, guys.
Bye.
See you, Dan.
Wally.
Bye,
See you,
guys.
Always a pleasure.
All right, there, Mr.
Right,
Logan.
well,
What have you been playing
now
this
that all
week?
the nakedness is done.
Feel overdressed for the occasion.
Yeah. You and your shirt.
I've been honestly, I gotta say, Sea of Thieves partner again. My girlfriend and I have been jumping back into the Sea of Thieves, and
Sweet.
It's been a little rough on the seas. Like the servers could be better, But outside of playing Sea of Thieves on the reg, I've been jumping into Call of Duty again because they got their spooky season going.
Nice.
Yeah.
And spooky season is in full effect. So besides that and watching Midnight Mass and Lucifer and any other like spooky kind of movie I can watch right now on like Hulu or Disney Plus, I've been going in some COD zombie stuff and just trying to experience the best of the Halloween season.
I love it, man. Have you seen Midnight Mass before?
Oh yeah. But
have you seen all of the universe, like House on the Haunting of Hill House and stuff?
It's amazing. I love it.
So good, dude. Love it.
Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, so doing that right now and just kind of enjoying the atmosphere, because that's really like, I feel like I'm waiting for the other games to kind of kick up their spooky season. So I'm trying to get like Call of Duty like knocked out now before Black Ops 6. But we've also got like, Shattered Space coming with the Snake God and stuff. So that's going to be like kind of spooky as well too. So it's like I'm trying to wait for those and just get my fix with like Phasmophobia or Dead by Daylights or something.
I've wanted to play Phasmophobia, and so does like Chris 1H1D, and like I would love to get a gaming session sometime. I've never played it, but it looks creepy as hell, to be honest with you.
I got murdered every single time on amateur. It was fantastic. I can't wait to figure out how to actually play the game, but it's on Xbox now, from what I understand, or it's coming soon.
That's rad. One last question about Call of Duty: did you buy a skin? Did they get your money?
No, I'm not going to spend any money in the store until Black Ops 6. Then they'll get me. But I did buy the battle pass for the Mike Myers, so I guess technically. But I mean, I usually go for the season passes for this. So
nice. Yeah, that's what we're talking. I just, man, if they said it would transfer to Black Ops, you could take my money. I'll pay double for that. That's amazing.
So hard. Why is this so hard?
Yep. That one still blows my mind, because they have to see a massive decrease in skin purchasing right now, right? I hope they're not sitting around being like, guys, I don't understand, because everybody loves Mike Myers, but nobody wants to buy this.
Yeah, they waited till the very end for him, which sucks, man. But Chance, what have you been playing since you started?
So I'm finishing up Baldur's Gate still, but I just started last week the Plucky Squire, which I'm excited about. I should have a review next week, I think, as well as Nobody Wants to Die, which I feel like I talked about last week. I can't remember if I did or not, but that one seems like it came and nobody talked about it and it went away. But I think the best way I can describe it so far, it looks absolutely incredible. And it's a blend of, do you remember that show Altered Carbon on Netflix?
Oh God, yeah. That's so good.
So underrated. So ridiculously underrated. So think Altered Carbon meets BioShock. And it's a walking sim, so it's not heavy gameplay or anything like that. But so far, I've been really impressed. It's really, really hitting some of the feels that I have for my long lost friend of Altered Carbon. And then Plucky Squire has been cool, but not super fun. I love the art style. It has multiple different kinds of art styles, which is like part of the shtick that it has going on. But I'm gonna have to force myself to finish it, I think, unfortunately. But I get why a lot of people really loved it and why it got such good reviews. So
love it. Bacon, how about you, man?
I was playing Horizon Zero Dawn until I heard about the remaster that I then shelved because I don't want to play it twice.
Really? We're playing it again?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, I've been playing Horizon.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I have.
Okay.
How is that so hard to believe?
I knew you were playing it before. I was just surprised you went back to it.
That's it was 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there. So I'm still Curse of the Dead Gods. I've made the final boss now 3 times, and he claps my cheeks pretty hard. I don't know how hard that 1,000 is going to be to get, but I'm hopefully going to get it before Shattered Space. So again, just keeping it light until Shattered Space. So don't want to get caught up in anything. So
we're close. It's not hard at all. It just takes time.
So long.
It's that. Yeah, Jose.
That's what she said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading something.
he's got too many pans in front.
Like getting to level, is it 100, right? You got to get to level 100. That's going to take.
Yeah, so
it's just going to take time.
Yeah, and I have no problem because I love those kinds of games. So I just play them like crazy. So
fantastic. I also jumped into Plucky Squire this week, and I'm actually considerably higher on it than Chance's.
Okay, yeah.
To be fair, I don't love it. It's not like my favorite game that I've ever played. And I think honestly, my expectations were tempered a little bit after I loved Logan's review. For those listening, if you haven't watched Logan's review on it for XP, go check it out. It's really great. I think it does a really good justice of like what the game is. I didn't know what to expect from the gameplay itself because like I loved the trailers. I was like, this is definitely going to be a game I love, but I kind of thought it was going to be more almost in the Souls-like genre of like it's cute, but it's kind of challenging. So far, it hasn't been super challenging, but you know what? Honestly, that's why I've loved it. So to be also very clear, shout out to Nissa in the chat. I've been playing it on my Ally. So like literally like it in the evening, like where I'm watching TV with my wife and like, she's usually very tolerant of my gaming habits, to be honest with you. But like, I also would like to spend time with her. But a lot of that is like watching TV. And sometimes it's stuff that I don't really care about because it's what she wants to watch. And so it's been really nice to have a game that I don't feel like I have to play like this close to my face because I need to read stuff on the screen or it's really like tense. And it's not super graphics intensive. And so it's been really pleasant. Like I'm enjoying the story. I don't mind because it's pretty well segmented in terms of like when I can stop it and go do something else.
Sure. Yeah.
I understand all the criticisms of people of like, there is a lot of breaking of the narrative to like explain like the gameplay so that it gets through the narrative.
So much explanation. Yeah.
But once I kind of accepted that, I've had a great time. And to be fair, I'm only past without a spoiler, there's where you get the bow and arrow. You use the bow and arrow to fight some bugs.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that was my favorite.
Leading
part.
up to that and that boss, I really thought was a cool nod to some other games. And that's one piece without spoilers that I've really enjoyed.
Sure.
They've really done some cool tie-ins of other very famous genres.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited to finish it, but I'm not in a rush. It's also something just selfishly that like as my daughters, they're 9 and 7, are really kind of finally getting into games. I'm trying to find stuff that they can play. And there's just not a whole lot other than like if I go pure Nintendo, which is fine, but I would love to get them, like Bacon would be proud of this. I'd love to get them into the PC space, right? And so to do that, I got to find stuff that they're going to like. They're not quite to the Fortnite age yet. So I think this is one I'll probably go back and play or let them play, you know, because I think they'll really enjoy. So that's first thing. The other thing, oh, sorry, go ahead, Logan.
I will say there is like a God mode in the accessibility for Plucky Squire as well too. So if you want them to jump in and not have to worry about like dying or having to get hit, there is like a one-hit kill option, and there's also like an invincibility mode.
Oh, is that just when you hit the story mode thing? Is that what it does?
Nope. It is specifically like a sitting that you can go into. So you can toggle it on and off whenever you want.
Actually, I think the challenge level is what I like the most for them, because like for a seasoned gaming, and for the record, if you've played video games at all in your life, you're going to crush Plucky Squire. Just let me be very honest with you.
Yeah.
But for like my daughters who they didn't really grow up with Mario in the same way that we did, where there's like a lot of challenge realistically when you play that game, they need something to kind of like build that metal. And so I'm really excited. I think this is a good game to do that. And it's also super low stakes. If you die, you just restart on the same page. Like it has a lot going for it, and happy to support the devs because I agree that we need more games like this. The other thing that I played this week that I was very excited about, I mentioned it last week. I did finally beat The Quarry. So Dan bought this for me literally like almost a year ago, and I started like the first piece of it, and then I backed off for whatever reason. I was playing something else, and I was like, it's spooky season. I want to play something spooky. I was honestly bitter about the Michael Myers thing at the time in COD, so I was like, I need something else. And so I went back to play Quarry. I had a damn good time. Like, I honestly wish that I had actually started it with my wife, again, who lightly plays some games, but I really think it would have been a fun thing for us to do, to be like, hey, I'll control. Let's sit on the couch. You make the choices, and let's just watch this spooky movie. Because I really enjoyed it, and I really shout out to Supermassive. There were times that some of the character models were like a little like they're so close to being perfect, but they're just not. You know what I'm saying, in terms of like the animations and stuff. But I enjoyed it, man. And I think it was about a 9-hour experience for me. So pretty small in the grand scheme of stuff. It was something I definitely did within a week, but had a great time. The other part that was really cool is like I was really happy with my run. Like I was really trying to do like a hero run of like, I want everyone to live, and I want to stop the bad guys, and I want to stop the main part of the story. I don't want to spoil it if you've never played it. And I got so close. There was literally one event where I was supposed to shoot, and the controls are a little janky in the Supermassive games if you've never played them, and I missed. And this one of my characters just got jacked up. But I also kind of wanted to see that happen because that didn't happen in my characters. So that was really cool. And then the other piece I really liked was if you've never played the games before, is that after you beat it, they have this thing called like rewind, like the rewind something, and you basically can go back to any of the events in the game and replay them up to 3 times, just to give you that second shot of like, I was so close, just let me try and see what happens. So if you just want to see how that branch of the story would have arced if you had done it differently, I thought that was really cool, man. And I haven't gone back to do that with my character that died, but it is something that's really cool. So now I kind of want to get into like the casting of Frank Stone. I definitely want to play Until Dawn. I've never played Until Dawn, so like I probably will try to do those with my wife when they come out. But shout out to Supermassive, very, very cool stuff. So I like that a lot.
Nice, man.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing, as we get round out the show, thanks for everyone for sticking with us. As we always do, let's end it with kind of talking about the best food that we ate this week. We'll let Chance go first here. Chat, you can throw what
it's like there's a party in my mouth and everyone's invited.
Sorry,
invited.
Terrible timing. Sorry, that's all I meant. I was going to drop that one. Let's try it again.
It's like there's a party in my mouth and everyone's invited.
Fantastic. Chance, you want to start us off? Best food you ate this week?
Sure. So huge shout out to massive fan of the show, Shannon Waxman, my coworker. I'm pretty sure she listens every week and just will never admit it. She made brown butter Rice Krispie treats that were brought to the office the other day. I don't know why brown butter is a thing or why it makes everything so much better. And I'm not even confident that I know what brown butter is. I think you just heat some butter up and then use the butter. They were beyond any sort of Rice Krispie treat I've ever had. They were incredible. There was a bag and I was like, can I just take this entire bag? Like these other people don't need them. What are you going to give them to the kids? Who cares about kids? Right. So huge shout out to Shannon. I also want to mention I had to get the brisket at Chipotle again because I wanted to make sure that the super fatty parts, that was a one-off, and it was because my burrito was perfect tonight. So brisket, if you haven't tried it and you like brisket at Chipotle, worth your time, worth your money.
Is the flavor profile more like the steak or more like the barbacoa? Which is it closer to?
Barbacoa, I'd say, because it has... Ashley said she thought it was spicy. I don't think it's spicy at all, and I don't do spicy stuff as nearly as well as you, at least, Jose. It didn't seem spicy to me, and it has a little bit of sweet, which is nice. So,
okay. Also, shout out to B in the chat. Sukulis, brown butter is butter that is cooked to the point where it just burns, and then it gives it a different flavor.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So, was I kind of close when I say melted? Probably not.
Sure.
I'll say 30% right.
Well, thanks, B. Thank you.
Really kind.
Yeah, I was gonna say 30 seems high, but that's fine. Logan, how about you, man? What's the best food you had this week?
You know, it's weird and it's gonna sound really strange, but I went and got because I usually go to like Costco from time to time, pick up a bunch of stuff, you know, go buy in bulk like the American man would. And I went and got one of the ready-made meals that is the chicken Alfredo. Yep. And I wasn't expecting a whole lot. Like I usually don't go into these like ready-made meals like expecting that they're going to be really that great. But man, I baked that up, and when I had that, I was genuinely looking forward to the second helping that I was going to have, because I was just like, there's no reason why this chicken Alfredo should taste this good. It comes from Costco. And then I'm like, oh, wait, it's Costco. They have like $5 rotisserie chickens and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dare I say, they never miss. Never.
That is a bold statement.
That's a bold statement.
I will have to expand.
But are you talking about not like the frozen one?
Yeah,
like the ones in the little plastic.
Yeah, like the little
like
they got
made,
the
right.
Yeah, the ones that they make, and they've got like in little trays and stuff.
Hell yeah.
So I'm like looking at the other ones, and I'm like, well, maybe I want to go try these. But yeah, that and the I can't remember the name of the brand, but they've got a coconut curry and a chicken masala that's like the pre-made stuff, that's like the sous vide cooked stuff that they have like in the little packets. God, that's been a staple for far too long, because I know it's high in salt, but
stop.
Tikka masala is delicious.
We eat
tikka masala.
We eat that one from Costco once a week easily in our house.
It's amazing.
Also, pro tip, Logan, if you and the girlfriend are hosting people, or you want like a fun date night, go get the Costco mac and cheese, and then go home and like go crush up some like Flamin' Hot Cheetos, green onions, panko crumbs, and you do your own, like build your own mac and cheese. Delicious and super cheap, man. Throwing that out there.
It's good to know.
Bacon, how about you, bud? Have you gotten back into some fun stuff? Are you still in trouble with your endocrinologist? I'm sorry.
I mean, I had a a spicy chicken from Chick-fil-A. But
Ew.
pro tip though, Bluebell makes an ice cream that is oatmeal cream cookies in the ice cream.
Oh,
legit, gentlemen.
Does Daniel know about that? No, Miggy does. Wasn't it Miggy was telling us about this?
It is legit, gentlemen. It will change your stance on ice cream forever. So, just
What if I'm lactose intolerant, Bacon? I feel
It doesn't matter. It's hashtag worth it.
that's fair. That's absolutely.
Where did you get it? Was it is
just
it
at
Walmart?
King's? Just at
Supers?
King's,
All right.
yeah.
All right.
And Bluebell still makes the big container, not the little containers.
Oh, yeah.
The shrinkflation. So
None of them sissy bags.
oatmeal
Sissy
cream pie
ice
ice cream. It is legit. So
Love it. Best food for me this week on Saturday. Shout out to my family. Went and got some Popeyes. It's my youngest daughter. She loves Popeyes. When we give her a choice, that's where she wants to go. I'm so proud.
It's got good taste.
Apple
Yeah, the
doesn't
thing-
fall far.
We on Tuesday's gymnastics night in my house for my daughter, and so there was a weird change of plans because things happening, and so it was just being her for dinner. And I always talk about Hamburger Stand because it was like a staple growing up in Green Mountain, and there's one on Broadway, and so I was like, let's go to Hamburger Stand. Not as good as I remember. I'm gonna be super honest with you. Like I really wanted it to be kind of nostalgic, and it was fine.
We
It
used
was
to go to
fine.
Hamburger Stand like weekly in high school.
I know.
So not good.
But it was not great, and it was not great for
Oh,
me.
man.
I'll tell you the next day there was some regret in my life, if I'll be honest with you. But
that Hamburger Stand turned your day into a lot of hamburger sitting, right?
Yeah.
but the best thing I had this week, and it was a repeat of last week because I did it once and I was like, maybe I'm crazy because so for those that don't know, we have a running bet now on our shout out. We have 290 subscribers right now. Thank you to everybody that subscribed this week. If we get to 500, when we get to 500, Dan committed to eating 8 junior bacon cheeseburgers live on stream because I don't think he can do it. So this week I went and got 4 again because I was like, last week I tried it and after my 4th one, I was pretty full. And again, I'm a big dude, like 6'2", 290. Go ahead, Logan.
Okay. Pro tip, maybe not need it. Something I learned from retail and only getting like 30 minutes tight to be able to eat. You get multiple, you stack them, and then you squish them.
Oh, don't tell Dan he's going to cheat now.
He won't listen to this because he's in Waikiki, Hawaii.
Well, yeah, but is he really?
Yeah.
Is that where he's been all
Since
week?
when?
Where was Dan?
He's so
How
sneaky.
come nobody told us?
God, that guy.
Damn it. So will that make 8 possible, Logan? Then
It'll definitely make 4 a lot easier. I'll tell you that.
Well, I tried 4 again, and it was fine. It was delicious. They actually gave me like extra bacon on them. I was like, they were very, very good. But after 4, I was like pretty full again, and I'm just like, I don't think Dan can do this. And I even at work, one of my good buddies, Zach Morris, who is a huge dude, also.
The Zach
Morris, yes.
The Zach Morris
on
from
Instagram.
Bayside High.
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he loves that joke, by the way. But you know, his name is really Zach Morris. He was like, "Oh, Dan can absolutely crush 8 of them," and I was like, "Dude, have you tried?"
There's no way. There's no way.
I tried it again. It was delicious. I don't think Dan's going to do it, but please, let's find out. Help us get to 500.
Does Zach think that Zach could do 8?
No, but Zach's also been like working out and dieting. Shout out, good for you, Zach. So he's not in prime food eating shape, to be fair. So anyway, well, fellas, that's going to basically wrap up our show. We're right at about our 90-minute mark. So before we wrap up, let's give shout outs. Go ahead and tell people where they can find you. Logan, we'll of course start with you. Thank you for coming on, man. Of course, in addition to sorry that we blindsided you with Joe, but
No,
always
that's
happy
great.
to have you on the show, man. Where can people find you?
You can find me over on X at CAPT_LOGUN, the Keelhauled podcast, if you want some Sea of Thieves news. But the best place to find me and more conversation like this is going to be over at XEP with Luke Lore, the Insipid Ghost. That's Xbox Expansion Pass. Over on YouTube, we do a show every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time, something in the East Coast.
Absolutely. Go check him out. Fantastic show. Again, check out Logan's review of the Plucky Squire. Really great work, man. Excited to see you guys' stuff. And Luke is hinting at some cool stuff on the horizon. So I'm excited to see what you guys got, man.
Oh, it's going to be good.
Love it. Chance, where can people find you?
Out in the front of my street, just marveling at my permanent outdoor lights that I put up last weekend.
Nice.
I literally am so happy with what I did. And I have to do a little shout out to and Govee. They'll probably sponsor us next week, I'm sure.
Hell yeah.
You're supposed to just put them like a couple inches away from the house, aiming down. We backed it all the way up in the eaves, and so you can't see the lights at all. And then we put them on a 45-degree angle with some little spacers, and so you don't get that little gingerbread effect as much. It still happens a little, but it's washing the house out. And I'm just out there marveling because I'm about as far, Jose will know this, as far from a manly man as they get. And it was really cool to have done that project with my wife and have it look so nice and so good. So I've been getting so many compliments from neighbors. So you can find me out on the street admiring my exterior illumination.
I love it. I hope you start taking off your shirt. I think you deserve it to just be out in your yard with your shirt off, talking to your neighbors.
You know what? Actually, yeah, because it might keep them away, right?
There you go. Smart.
We used to want to go to Chance's house, but
Bacon, where can people find you, bud?
You can find me in our DMs fighting with Joe as I usually am.
It's no joke, guys. Like literally 60 messages long.
That's all it is.
Bacon
Technically,
back and
I
forth.
barely even got in with him and Logan's argument. I was just like a little jab here.
Logan didn't
jab
even
there.
get in on him and Logan's argument. So
You can find me on Twitter, xbacongaming, Steam, Xbox, everywhere. Shout out to the chat tonight. You guys have been awesome. Super active. We appreciate our special guest here. And Joe for crashing the party yet again. That guy keeps getting invites to the show. But thanks, guys.
hold on, Dan's in Waikiki?
Yes.
Waikiki Beach.
He doesn't have a shirt on. Maybe not even pants. I'm Chipotle Bear, Chipotle_Bear, Chipotle Bear on a lot of the services. Always feel free to shout out. Again, thank you to everybody in the chat. We love having you guys. Great to see everyone. Hoping you're having a great week. Hope everybody's getting pumped for spooky season. The first official week of October is next week. Go play some fun spooky games. Thank you for supporting the Nerd Chat, where we try to talk about all things gaming, food, and the good old days. And honestly, just like a good laugh, man. It's one of the best part of every one of ours week. So as always, Spartans, we'll see you online.
See you online.
See you online. Chance.
Oh, it's my turn. See you online.
Oh,
see you online.
What's her last name? I'll look it up. I don't really recall. It starts with an S. So Swummy, Slippy, Slappy, Slimmin, Swanson?
Maybe it's on the briefcase. Look on the...
Oh, yeah, it's right here. Samsonite. I was way off.
The Nerd Chat is an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. You can follow the show at The Nerd Chat across all social media. The show was created by Daniel Wolenzik, and you can follow him at Daddy D. Wally. The lead producer and co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_Bear. And former intern, recently promoted co-host Jason Jarrett can be found at xbacongaming. If you'd like to find out more about the show, please visit nerdchatmedia.com. And as always, see you online.